You wouldn't believe how annoying this is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another college football rankings video updating the Week 2 rankings. The reason I say it's annoying, guys, once again, the same thing happened to me. The trend disappears. It's literally Tuesday. You might want to keep the trend from the previous week until at least the next week kicks off. So I'll try my best to remember what if these teams moved up or down. But guys, this is the official FPI rankings. When you go on ESPN and you see a matchup and you see the percent chance to win, how they find those, percent chances is based off of these rankings. So that's what these rankings are. And then we've got other rankings to look at as well that we're going to get to. But guys, you can see a few things right off the bat. Alabama, #1. Ohio State actually moved past Georgia. And you say, how does that happen? Georgia, beat Samford 33-0. Guys, when it comes to analytical rankings, there's always going to be an expectation that the model gives a certain team. For example, the model probably gave Georgia an expected, win margin of like 50 points over an FCS school, and Georgia not meeting that threshold and maybe not outgaining Samford by the yardage, margin that was expected. It actually dropped Georgia below Ohio State. And Ohio State, I think, probably stayed the exact same with their 45-12 win over Arkansas State, because Arkansas State is an FBS team, and they're actually ranked inside the top 100. And then we've got a lot of movement. So Clemson stays at #4, but Michigan is very close. They're within almost 1 point. And the reason for that is because Clemson was outgained by Furman. Now, Clemson won the game easily, I think 35-12. But the model is not going to like that. If you're a top 5 team getting outgained in terms of yards by an FCS team, that is going to kill you. So Clemson had a sizable gap over Michigan. That has closed. Texas moved up a spot. So I know people are like, how is Texas #6? They've been like #7 forever on the FPI since the beginning, and now they actually moved up a spot because they played Alabama, the #1 team, to the wire, right? So it does make sense. USC sitting at #8, tied with Mississippi. And guys, so this is where it gets crazy with the SEC teams. Mississippi State is #9, actually tied for #8 if you look, close to #7. But Tennessee, no way are they the 7th best team in college football. I don't even know an algorithm that would be in place to allow Tennessee to be #7 based off their performances. They beat Pittsburgh, but they were not in control of that game. That game went to overtime. I don't think an analytical model would look on Tennessee that fondly unless there was a predetermined ranking that valued Tennessee above of where they should be valued, which is what happened right here. And that's why Tennessee is at #7. They were overrated from the start. And that's the big flaw with FPI rankings is when you have a team that's overrated from a start, when a team beats that overrated team, the team that beats the overrated team gets valued higher. So it's a domino effect. It screws everything up. I'm sorry. I'm just going to talk. I know this is confusing. USC at #8. I have no problem with that. Mississippi State, my God, I don't know. I hope. See, this is the other issue. LSU is #12. So according to the FPI, Mississippi State versus LSU this weekend is an 8v12 game. What are we doing, folks? Come on with these FPI rankings, man. I love analytics and stuff like that. But it's like, when it comes to this, actually, guys, I really don't like analytics. Because I'm younger, I like camouflage myself and say, oh, I like analytics, when I really don't like them. Because you get rankings like this, it's just ridiculous. Utah at #10, that's respectable. Michigan State, I might have Michigan, well, that's fine. Michigan State, that's fine. LSU, it's too high. And it's based off recruiting, I would assume, and preseason rankings. That's why they're 12th. Penn State at 13, agreed. Baylor at 14, I have no issues. Oklahoma needs to be higher. They were, I think, higher. I'm guessing the FPI didn't take too fondly to their game against Kent State. They were only up 7-3 at half. That's going to grade negatively in terms of game control. Ole Miss at 16. Ole Miss is not good, folks. I mean, Jesus, they need to show something on offense. Miami at 17. Yeah, the FPI didn't like their win against Southern Miss. They were struggling in the first half. Notre Dame is still at number 18, and this is what you'll get. So Notre Dame, obviously, Notre Dame, week 1 against Ohio State. The model expected Notre Dame to lose, so the model really didn't punish Notre Dame. Obviously, they're going to get punished for their loss to Marshall, but this is a flaw. You know, they're ranked 18th here. Cincinnati at 19. I like Cincinnati. I don't think they're 19th, but I like them. Oklahoma State at 20th. I agree with that. I think they're a little bit overranked right now in the AP poll. Arkansas at 21. Arkansas in the AP poll, I believe they're 10th, so that is crazy. Kentucky at 22, they moved way up. You can see it's a lot, less of a reaction type thing. The AP poll, big swings. The FPI, you're really not going to see that. Minnesota gets ranked in terms of the FPI at 23 because they've been crushing everyone. They just destroyed, Western Illinois? They scored like 70 almost. BYU, that's disrespectful. Come on, folks. How about Washington at 25? I like it. Purdue at 26, that's far too high. Kansas State at 27, understand. A&M. A&M moved out. That is crazy. So Texas A&M, their loss against Appalachian State did bump them all the way to 29. The AP poll still has them at 24. They're behind Maryland, which honestly makes sense. Texas A&M does not have a quarterback. It does make sense. Pittsburgh at 31. I've got no issues. Oregon, Iowa State, I don't think is that good. NC State got crushed with their week 1 win against East Carolina. The game control crushed them. Wisconsin got crushed. Obviously, their ranking is going to go way down. Florida State at 36. They've gotten off to a nice start. Florida at 37. Wow. They got annihilated in terms of the rankings after their home loss to Kentucky. Wait, there's Marshall. Man, Marshall is 39. Could you imagine Marshall goes unbeaten and they're in a New Year's Six game? That would be great for college football. Oh, that would be amazing. Marshall faces Bowling Green this week. They're going to crush Bowling Green. I'm going to have to do a deep dive on Marshall's schedule. Auburn at 40. I mean, I really can't say for sure with Auburn where they should be ranked. I don't think they faced anyone. We'll see what happens with Penn State. UCF, no issues. SMU, TC. We're just going to kind of roll through these. Houston at 47, I would have them higher. South Carolina at 48. South Carolina is about to shoot way up when they beat Georgia this week. That's going to be crazy. Guys, I cannot believe I called the upset. South Carolina over Georgia. It's going to look so great on my resume. I'm so thankful, guys. Amazing. Appalachian State at 49. Yeah, Appalachian State. At what point do we get tired of Appalachian State? It's every year we hear something about Appalachian State, and now game day goes to Appalachian State as they face Troy. Now, honestly, I don't have a problem with game day going there. Game day should go to different places. Oregon State good for Oregon State. Underrated team. Very underrated. Air Force. Yes, I love Air Force. Iowa is still somehow 55 with the worst offense in FBS. Iowa has a worse offense than Florida International. No, honestly, they might. Tulane at 50. Wow, Tulane, is that good? That's great to see. Yeah, Illinois, they shut me up when they crushed Virginia. I got to respect them. Nebraska still at 59. They're 1-2. Nebraska. UAB, wow. UAB, there was so much hype surrounding them, and they lay a freaking egg last week. Missouri is still up there. Stanford, yeah. Stanford actually, well, Stanford got crushed by USC. They scored late to try and make it a game. There's UTSA at 66. They face Texas. Texas has quarterback issues. Duke is at 72. Duke getting that major win against Northwestern. Toledo wow. Ohio State faces Toledo. Toledo is 67th. They got to be number 1 in the MAC. That's going to be great for Ohio State's strength of schedule. This is great news. This is great news. James Madison, the 2-0 start. Wow, James Madison is above Washington State. That's a little disrespectful. Wow. Goodness gracious. Northwestern gets moved way down after their loss. Army is really bad this year, apparently. They're 0-2. Arkansas State is ranked 85th. So that's not horrifically bad. That's who Ohio State faced. Vanderbilt, you can see Vanderbilt there. San Jose, there's Colorado. So guys, Colorado is one of the worst FBS teams. They're by far the worst Power 5 team, and they're one of the worst FBS teams. Utah State, oh my God. Who did Utah State lose to? Utah State not only lost, they lost like 35-7 against some crap FCS team. I don't remember who they lost to, but it's crazy. UTEP has a horrible offense. Charlotte is terrible as well. There's I would move Bowling Green up a little bit so you can see the worst rankings now. Florida International, I really don't agree with that. I think Hawaii is the worst team in FBS. Florida International would probably be second worst. There's UMass. Hawaii actually moved up a little bit after their loss to Michigan. I guess because they scored a touchdown maybe. I don't know. Colorado State. Guys, this is Michigan's non-conference schedule. Week 1, they faced the 120th ranked team out of 131. So 120 out of 131. Week 2, they face 129. Week 3, they face 125. Literally the worst non-conference schedule that doesn't include any FCS teams I've seen. I don't know since when. It's crazy. And it's really nothing against Michigan because Michigan usually schedules good opponents. Wow, Eastern Michigan is that low? I know Eastern Michigan faces Arizona State this week, and they're 20-point underdogs. There's UL Monroe. They face Alabama. They're one of the worst. They're actually the worst Sun Belt team. Wow. And then there's these other rankings you can see a lot different. These rankings have Alabama 1, Georgia 2, Ohio State 3. I can understand that. You know, this is an algorithm that has predetermined stuff. And then obviously Texas 4. So they're saying Alabama beating Texas, that's like they're beating the number 4 team in the country. I mean, how can you rank Texas 4th? That's crazy. I understand Texas, in terms of these algorithms, should be ranked pretty high because when you basically play Alabama evenly with the same amount of yardage, you lose by 1 point, you're going to grade out really well. But I don't know about that. How about Oklahoma State above Michigan, man? What is that? Penn State at number 10. Mississippi State, once again, sitting at number 11. Tennessee, Arkansas, Oregon at 14. No, wow. How is Georgia number 2 if Oregon is number 14? They annihilated the number 14 team. That's crazy. Notre Dame is still at 17. That's not surprising. Kentucky at 16. USC is low on here. Wow. But there are just the overall rankings, and they actually include Division II schools in here. So the number 1 Division II school, North Dakota State. North Dakota State is apparently better than California. No way. North Dakota State's better than Fresno State, Auburn. I don't know about these rankings, man. That's crazy. But I wonder who the worst Division I school is. I just want to see this really quickly. The worst, Florida International, probably. 203. No, UMass. No way is UMass the worst. Wow, they think UMass is the worst. Guys, so I just wanted to look at some of the rankings and kind of just go through them. I do this every week. Once again, the overall trend is not there. So I kind of have to remember where the teams were ranked. But Ohio State moved in front of Georgia, mainly due to Georgia. I guess, you know, it's one of the flaws with the algorithms because obviously Georgia's not going to try against Samford. If Georgia actually, you know, wanted to win, they could beat them 56-0. We know that. But it's just something that happens because it doesn't have the full context of the game and the fact that Georgia just wanted to get out with no injuries. But guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description.